Welcome back to TribPreps. I'm Eric Lee alongside Todd Sommerfeld as always, and we're here to break down week 6 of high school football here in Wisconsin. Run down the area games real quick. Aquinas is playing at Onalaska this week, Toma at Westby, West Salem at Nakusa, Hillsboro at Onalaska Luther, Olivestrom at Blair Taylor, Melrose Minduro at Augusta, Lancaster at Prairie du Chien, Richland Center at Viroqua, DeSoto at Boscobel. Across the border in Minnesota, Caledonia, Chatfield, and Houston at Leroy Ostrander. So full slate of games this week. We've got 11 of them. A lot of them on the road though.
Yes.
I will be at Aquinas, Onalaska tomorrow night.
Yes.
You'll be at Toma Westby,
Yes.
and I believe Callaway Wright will be at Onalaska Luther.
Yes. So we'll be at 3 of them.
Yeah. What stands out to you the most this week? What is kind of intriguing to you?
Well, I guess I'm intrigued to see how Aquinas bounces back.
Right.
It's going to be tough to bounce back against a really good Onalaska team, but West Salem hung with Onalaska.
Mm-hmm.
So, just got off the field with West Salem and got beat there, but it'll be interesting to see how they can, like I said, bounce back against a team of that caliber.
Mm-hmm.
What we saw, we were both at that game last week, and Aquinas struggled to move the ball very consistently. Flatmeyer was able to go over the top a couple of times and make some big plays that way. But there wasn't much else there. So we'll see what happens with the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, and I imagine, Yashinsky's got to be up to date as far as the pressure that West Salem was able to get on Flatmeyer that we talked about last week too. So you've got to imagine that Onalaska's obviously got the athletes on the defensive line, or whether it's coming off the edge or up the middle, even with some of their linebackers, to be able to make things difficult for Flatmeyer.
Yes.
It seemed like too Onalaska kind of got back in the rhythm of its offense last week, especially on the ground game.
Yes, they ran the ball very well, obviously, against Adams Friendship. Yes.
Right, and I mean, that's something that West Salem was able to pound the rock, especially there in the second half, so it'll be a pretty good test probably for that front, 7 or 8, however it kind of shakes out for Aquinas.
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm sure Yashinsky took special notice of what West Salem did to get that pressure on. And that was kind of the difference in the game, I thought, last week.
Absolutely. Toma trying to bounce back from a loss.
They didn't bounce back.
No, they lost. I thought they lost to Prairie du Chien last week.
No.
I've got it backwards then.
Yes.
I've got it backwards. They're trying to build then on their win, rather.
That was a good win for them. Gerke appears to threw the ball pretty well in that game. Drew Brookman keeps making big plays for the Timberwolves. So we've seen what Toma's kind of been up and down so far this season. We'll see what they can do against Westby to try and build on the Prairie du Chien game. 21. I think it was 21-14.
21-14. I got the score down. Apparently, I just got it mixed up there.
The other thing to keep in mind with Toma is Xander Williams. He's a nice big receiver, and I think he's got 4 touchdown passes or catches already this week. He had a couple last week. I think he had 2 against Prairie du Chien. So obviously Gerke's pretty happy throwing the ball to him.
Right.
He doesn't have a ton of catches, but if they get near the goal line, that's where they're looking. It seems lately Brookman is the other way they want to go.
Right, and that Westby team's still looking for its first win of the year. Played Aquinas tough in the first half when I watched them. I believe they were shut out last week. But that's a team too. They're a tough group, and that's probably going to be a nice, almost like old-fashioned type football game.
Yeah,
in Westby.
I think you're probably right. I'm interested to see how those two teams kind of match up. And I haven't seen Westby play. I have seen Toma play. But I'm curious to see what kind of team Westby has.
Panthers looking to build on their win, keep their streak going at Nakusa this week. Looking to go
a game.
Yeah,
they didn't have one, so we'll see. They got 2 wins in a row. We were talking about Toma building.
Right.
We'll see what West Salem can continue to build. I think we saw that that's a very legit defense.
Absolutely.
And their offense played very well last week, so maybe they can make it 3-0.
Yeah, you talk about being impressed with the running game. I was particularly impressed that they were able to lean on a sophomore running back last week. They've just got so many guys that can make plays for them offensively too, that pairs so well with, like you're talking about, that just really good defense that was able to really put the clamps on a good Aquinas offense too. Other notables, Blair Taylor still trying to stay undefeated, as is DeSoto. Caledonia as well, looking to extend its winning streak.
For 71.
Onalaska Luther could go pick up its second one of the year, go to 2-2 after dropping the last two. It's got Hillsboro tomorrow night.
That's a team that's
they're
shut out the
0-3.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know they lost to DeSoto the last 2 weeks.
Right.
The second game was a lot closer than the first. Though.
Right.
So obviously they did something better.
But I mean, the Knights have been off the past 2 weeks too, so this will be their first time back since early October. So we'll kind of get a nice little barometer, I guess, for how that break affected them.
And DeSoto handled Luther pretty well too. When they played at the Pit earlier this season. So those two teams playing each other, they both played DeSoto and didn't have much success against DeSoto.
Right. I think that's most of the notable stuff here.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm lost over anything.
In a row.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Chatfield's been playing well, but Chatfield's also one of those teams where I don't know if it's maybe not every season, but quite a bit is Chatfield the team that can beat them.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Caledonia's been nothing but impressive to this point.
Right. We didn't get a chance to talk about them last week because it was a Saturday game.
Yes.
And you went out to that, and even the first half score was a little ridiculous.
59-0. Yes. Eli King had a punt return for a touchdown. He carried the ball once, and it was for a 70-yard touchdown, and he threw 3 touchdown passes. But I wrote about the defense because I thought that was more impressive than all of that. They gave up, or they allowed minus 49 rushing yards in the first half, 9 yards total because Dover got a couple of pass completions for 58. Played basically the whole second half with non-starters.
Right.
So that's kind of how Dover ended up getting in the end zone. But just very impressive, and they keep having this turnover in Caledonia, and the guys that are ready to jump in are certainly ready. So that's the impressive thing, I think, about in terms of what Caledonia's been doing. They just do it with so many different kids. Now we're talking 71 wins in a row if they get it. I mean, that's not a good class coming through. That's not 2 good classes coming through. That's a program.
Absolutely. But that'll wrap it up for us here tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night to recap everything. As always, you can find all of our stuff, whether it's videos, photos, stories at lacrossetribune.com, and you can also find videos like these on our YouTube page. It's super simple, just Lacrosse Tribune. You can search it. You can find us there, watch, like I said, videos like these, game highlights. But again, sure bet to find everything is lacrossetribune.com, and we will be back tomorrow night.
Yes. Thanks for watching.